Ladies and gentlemen, it's said when you smell fresh flowers, know that spring is around, and when you smell fresh tar, know that elections are around. Right ahead of Diwali, Mumbaikars and those of you who are planning to travel to Mumbai have been given a gift by the Shinde government. The Maharashtra government has announced a complete toll waiver for light motor vehicles at all the 5 toll booths in Mumbai. It will come into effect from midnight today. This toll waiver is expected to bring in relief to people traveling in and out of Mumbai. The 5 booths at Dahisar, LBS Road, Mulund, Eastern Express, Highway, Mulund, Airoli Creek Bridge and Vashi will be toll-free now. While the decision is expected to benefit about 2.8 lakh people, the opposition has questioned the government on the timing of the decision, which is just ahead of the scheduled Maharashtra elections. Shiv Sena UBT leader Aditya Thackeray hit out at the government for looting people for 2 years and then doling out toll waiver hours before an election code of conduct. He went on to say in his post on social media platform X that for their own self it was 50 Khoke or 50 crores. Now after Khoke and Dhoke, they are trying to give our state peanuts. To talk more on this, I'm joined by Advocate Susieben Shah, spokesperson for the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, Chandra Sekhar Jha, spokesperson for the Shiv Sena UBT faction, and Shailesh Gandhi, former CIC, is joining us on the broadcast. We are expecting Advocate Shah to join us soon. But good evening and welcome to both of you. Mr. Shailesh Gandhi, let me begin with you. Before I get into the politics of it, I want to understand, clearly it's a huge relief for the commuters on each of these tolls. It clearly, comes as a benefit for lakhs of people who travel in and out of Mumbai every day.
That is true. The question is, why just before the election announcement? This could have been done earlier. And what bothers most of us is, everywhere this game is going on throughout the nation. Every election, people are promising, making various promises, and we don't know where the money is going to come from. I think it's time that we, as entrepreneurs, for example, we have to give a 5-year projection or 10-year projection to industries or financial institutions of how a new project will go off. No such calculation is being done. I suspect we should do a 10-year or 15-year future calculation, and people must be asked to explain how they get the money. Otherwise, we are getting into a debt trap, and I hope we don't become like Sri Lanka or Pakistan.
Okay. Chandra Sekhar Jha, Aditya Thackeray has, of course, questioned the timing of this decision. He's also said that, this is something that is being done to hide and cover up the loot that the current regime has been doing for the last 2 years.
Actually, if you see the law and order situation in the Maharashtra for the last 3 months, it has gone down. And no control, whatever they have been trying to do, but there is no control for law and order. There have been deaths, there have been gang rapes, there have been rapes, there have been accidents. Majority of them are who have been coming from the ruling party. And eventually they have not taken serious actions, even after getting the orders from the High Court, even after getting the slams from the High Court, Honorable High Court at Mumbai. So eventually, if you see, these kind of things will not cover up. And eventually, the kind of schemes which have been given, Maharashtra is far way ahead of other states like MP and Uttar Pradesh. And even the people rely upon infrastructure development and all these things. Eventually, infrastructure development, if you see, there are many scams which have happened. The bridges have the bridges have shown cracks. Eventually, everything is going against them. Negativeness is against them. Positiveness has come to the opposition. And eventually, if the elections are held on time, but eventually the ECI is also working at the behest of the ruling party. They have not declared the elections till date. This kind of situation creates a havoc. And eventually, what has happened in Maharashtra, the government which has run for 2.5 years right now, they were illegal government. The Supreme Court is deciding on that issue. So these things have come into negative of their part and positive of the opposition.
Okay, but can I just ask both of you? I absolutely understand that the timing of this decision, of this announcement, is questionable just right ahead of the Maharashtra elections. But if you see it from the people's point of view, whether it comes before the elections or after the elections, it's only benefiting lakhs of people. How does it matter when it's coming? It is at the end of the day benefiting those who are traveling in and out of Mumbai. So why not focus on that? Chandra Sekhar Jha, you want to go ahead first?
The exceptions which are coming from this government after 2 years, 2.5 years being into rule, these exceptions will not help them in elections in any way. See, the major problem which is Maharashtra is now facing is the law and order issue. Law and order issue, you see how Baba Siddiqui and others have been attacked. They have been shooted out. These things are coming negative with this government. Law and order issue is a major issue in any state. If the elections are going to be held, the major issue will be law and order in a state. And how the failure of a law and order, the minors were raped, the Badlapur incident, the accident which has happened in Pune, nothing, no justice has come forward, and the basic.
Okay. You know what, Chandra Sekhar Jha, let me get Advocate Susieben Shah to respond to what you're saying. She's spokesperson for the Shiv Sena Shinde faction. Advocate Shah, welcome to the show. You know, the argument that the opposition is giving is the fact that this and such kind of announcements will not help the government in winning the scheduled Maharashtra elections. They're also questioning why now? Why right ahead of the elections that are supposed to take place? Why suddenly did the Maharashtra government wake up and make every toll free?
A very good evening to all and all your viewers and my esteemed panelists. Let us understand this, that whenever a scheme is announced, it's a process. It is not that one fine day you get up and you announce schemes. As far as the tolls are toll free is concerned, the reducing or doing away with the toll was concerned, was an issue for a very, very long time. Not only the Agadi-Bigadi government, the previous government as well were thinking. But we thought, after doing a proper survey, proper study, that it is about time that at the entry points of all 5 entry points at Mumbai, the toll should go. Our Honorable Chief Minister calls himself the common man, calls that this government is for the common people. And therefore, this is going to be only on light motor vehicles. Who uses light motor vehicles? The citizens, the Mumbaikars, the people of Maharashtra. So I don't understand why, when the people at large are benefited, why the Agadi-Bigadi should have a problem. Secondly, about the law and order. They will be absolutely silent as far as the law and order issue is concerned in Tamil Nadu. When can you raise this objection? When the government does not act. Here, we have acted swiftly and surely. Let me also tell you this, that Mumbai by far is the safest city in India. I was earlier in the evening, I was with on another show where there were NGOs participating, IPS officers, retired actors were participating with me, and they said loud and clear that Mumbai is a safe city. This was an exception. So therefore, let us not, and about Mukhyamantri Maji Ladki Bahin, that is the main objection that they have. In their own manifesto, they've said that we will not only give you the Sanman Dhan, they call it, I don't know what they call it, but we'll hike it to 3,000 rupees. So the contradictions, the diabolical approach to things is exposed.
You know, Advocate Shah, the argument is not what is put in the manifesto and what is promised. The argument that the opposition is giving is why now? Why suddenly a few days ahead of the Maharashtra elections you want to announce this toll waiver for light motor vehicles, as you put it, for citizens? Why now?
It is a thing in process. You have to decide, you have to think. You have to have a discussion with the people who are manning these. There are contractors. But when you discuss with them, you come at a solution. Now, why the solution now, not before? I don't understand. As far as it is benefiting the people of Maharashtra, timelines have no meaning. Let the people benefit.
Okay,
What is wrong?
Chandra Sekhar Jha, you want to come in on that? You know, why are you focusing on timelines when this entire process takes time, and it is only when this was finalized by the government with the stakeholders involved was this decision announced?
See, it will not take 2.5 years to decide on the timeline when to give such kind of offers to the public. This kind of offers are basically for the elections and to lure the voters and nothing else. And eventually, what the Maharashtra is facing, the scams, the law and order issues. These issues have to be cannot be waived off by the ruling party, and the majority are seen on the national media as well as on papers how this government has conducted the ruling process of the government. And eventually the public will decide, the voters will decide who to be elected and who to be re-elected. That is a simple way, and the democracy will sustain.
Shailesh Gandhi, let me bring you in on this. The fact that, the larger goal has to be to woo the voter. Will it impact the voter? Will it impact the citizens of Maharashtra?
I suppose there will be certain positive thinking because of this. Some people would get influenced, saying reduction of taxes and levies and burdens is always welcome for any citizen. That is a given. The question is, can the state afford it? Right now, all over the country, the debt is rising at a very brisk pace, and nobody is giving thought to how will the repayment come. I therefore was suggesting that a 15-year plan should be there of any political party which is making promises saying 15 years, this is how the state will be, this is how our finances will be. Otherwise, we are getting into a huge debt trap. Worry is my next generation going to have to bear the burden of this, or it will not be able to, and therefore will India go bankrupt? That is the question. India had a debt of about 50,000 crores 10 years back. Now it is supposed to be over 2 lakh crores. So in 10 years, the debt has gone up by 4 times. Now, where is the payment schedule talk? Nobody is talking of how this will get repaid. If this is economically viable, it's a very good thing. All citizens would love it. I have no doubt about it. Let's reduce all taxes. Everyone would love the idea of giving money to women, to the underprivileged, etc. The question is the money there? Is there any thought given to that? Or is it just making promises and saying, I don't care what happens in the future?
Advocate Shah, do you want to respond to Mr. Shailesh Gandhi? The fact that nobody is thinking about the debt that will come out of it, who's going to repay the loss that the state incurs?
It is not a loss. It's an investment in the women of Maharashtra. It is called Sanman Dhan. It is a silent respect to the homemakers of this country who work day and night, whether it be the slums, the chawls of Mumbai, the small villages in Maharashtra, who toil to make sure that they have a good standard of living. The family has a good standard of living, education, home, health, education, what have you. Now, coming back to what Mr.
No, let's talk about this specific toll waiver,
Mr. Gandhi,
Advocate Shah.
coming back to that. When we took over in 2.5 years, we were the sixth in number as far as the growing economy of India was concerned. Today, we are number 1. The GST collection in Maharashtra is the highest in last so many years. So, therefore, this government is very, very conscious while coming up with the schemes for the people who deserve it, and we will continue. Our government, Mahayuti government, is going to come back, romp home with a clear majority, and these schemes will continue. We have a system at place. This is not going to go anywhere. And again, it is benefiting the people of Maharashtra. And the people of Maharashtra will continue to benefit once the Mahayuti government comes. You see in Karnataka, you see in Himachal Pradesh, you see in Telangana, what has happened? All the schemes have stopped because the state is not growing. Here, Maharashtra is the number 1 economy, the fastest growing economy in India. We are at number 1, leaving behind Gujarat, Karnataka, and what have you. So I don't see any problem in continuing the scheme.
Chandra Sekhar Jha, you want to respond to Advocate Shah?
The majority of voters in Maharashtra will not rely upon this kind of gratitude being presented by the government. And eventually the elections are going to be declared.
Okay.
Let the elections and the voters decide all those things, whether these opportunities given by this government can be cashed on or not. These things have to be decided by the voters.
Okay.
The voters will be the perfect individual who will decide the government to continue or not to continue. The second thing is that the infrastructure and the finances and the industries which this government is talking about, nothing has been done. What has been done, all the industries which were to come to this Maharashtra state were diverted to Gujarat. And eventually the Maharashtra has lost many opportunity of giving jobs, employments and other infrastructure schemes to the public. These are freebies which are declared by the government. Otherwise, if these industries would have been in Maharashtra, these freebies would not have been required to be declared by this government. And eventually this government has completely failed.
Okay, I have to wrap up, Chandra Sekhar Jha, but before I wrap up, Mr. Shailesh Gandhi, you wanted to come in quickly, 30 seconds, and then I wrap this up.
My small query to the Honorable Lady, ma'am, do you know what Maharashtra's debt was 5 years back, 10 years back, and what it is likely to be in the next 10 years? This is money we are talking of. We are not talking of emotions. Finances have to get...
Okay. Yeah. Advocate Shah, go ahead quickly.
Educators.
You are not going to recover. It is an investment in the people. It is investment in infrastructure. It is investment where the Maharashtra, when you want to participate and become a 1 trillion economy, and Maharashtra wants to participate wholeheartedly, debt is not a taking debt is not a negative. I mean, I wonder why you take it that way.
Okay, we'll have to wait and watch Advocate Shah, Mr. Shailesh Gandhi and Mr. Chandra Sekhar Jha,
Thank you so much.
How this really pans out and what really finally is the verdict of the Maharashtra elections. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us on Mirror Now and sharing your perspective.